Hello everyone, we are in the World of Tanks 1.0. Yes, that's right, the new version has landed and it is fantastic. Wargaming.net has really hit it out of the park, and now we're just going to start out talking while I'm in the garage, and I'll be flipping through tanks, and you can see that the tanks look much cleaner and crisper. They look worn and dirty and scratched and beaten, like a tank would in a wartime situation. And it's really probably one of the finest changes and upgrades that I've ever seen them do. Now, they didn't just change the graphics, now they changed the core engine of the game as well. And as far as I can tell, it is absolutely smooth. The frame rate, both in the garage and in the shop, is fantastic. In battle, I get 120 frames per second, which is about what I was getting before. So I didn't lose any frames. Now, my machine used to be, hot 2 years ago. It's getting a little long in the tooth. I may have to replace it this summer. So to see that I can still play without losing any graphics gives me hope that people with lower end machines can still play and still enjoy the game. So as far as I can tell, Wargaming.net has done a really great job on that. Now, as I was saying, I was going to flip through some tanks here. I'll stop yapping for a second and let you take a look at some. See, look at the scratch marks, and the dents look like real dents, and not just sort of gentle curves. And one of the other things they did is they remastered the music for the game as well. So I'm letting that play in the background right now, and it sounds absolutely nice. It's very calm and soothing in the garage. And then when you go into battle, they have very theme appropriate music for that as well, and it sounds great. They did a really good job of that. Now, it's not just the garage and the core engine and the tanks that they have done. They have remastered all of the maps, and they are fantastic. They're crisp, they're clean, they're more realistic looking. There's tracks and mud and damaged stuff everywhere in these battles, and it looks so real. They did a really good job. Now, they also made some improvements to some of the existing maps. There's Fjords, Erlenberg, Kharkov, Steppes, and so many others that they redid. And then they added a new map called Glacier that I had a chance to play in the beta, and I did it on in a Maus, the German Super Heavy, the big 100-ton tank. So driving around on the ice of this frozen harbor in a 100-ton tank just kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies. But the map was so beautiful, it distracted me. There's all these frozen ships. Ships frozen in the ice, and it was actually kind of eerie, and I probably spent more time sightseeing than I did actually fighting. So anyway, I have talked to you about the maps, the music, the new maps, the changes to the garages, and the sounds. We can't forget that they redid some of the sounds, so it sounds more realistic, and there's even some lighting changes involved that I noticed that are just. It took my breath away to see this. As for instance, I drove underneath this bridge, and there was a string of lights hung overhead, and you could see the difference in the shadows move as I went underneath the bridge. And then there are the effects that they've added. So you'll see tracer rounds flying across the battlefield, and you'll see sparks as a tank gets hit, and they really, really did a great job. So anyway, enough yapping. That is my take on World of Tanks 1.0. It looks great, it plays great, and I know you're going to enjoy it. So anyway, let's get on with my very first match in version 1.0. I left my machine on with the updater running, so when I got home, I jumped on and just played a quick match, and it actually turned out pretty well. So let's get to it. Okay, everybody, this is my first match in World of Tanks 1.0. You can already see the difference in graphics with this wall texture, and with the texture on the ground. It's just amazing the level of detail that they put on this. Now, I'm in my Tiger 1, and I was going to head to the other side of the railroad tracks, but I ended up turning around. You'll see this in a minute, because I realized I've been playing a medium a lot lately too. So on the INSC map, when I'm in a medium, I will go to this side. If I'm in the heavy, I'll go to town. And then I'm like, oh, duh, I'm in my heavy, so I'm going to turn around and head back into town. Now, like I was saying, you can already see the level in detail, the change. If you go back to some of my older videos, where I've played on this map, you'll notice that those are nowhere near as high-res and detailed as these are. I mean, the difference is absolutely amazing. I've actually played some maps where I didn't know where I was at first because it looked so different. So I'm actually going to head into the center of town, and I see this this VK-30 bounces around at me. I return fire and I missed. But you can see the ruins, you can see individual planks and burnt out windows, and the actual little individual bricks in the brick piles. They did such a wonderful job on this. I'm so amazed. And there's that VK-30 again. I was just going to try to skim one off the top of his tank and ended up hitting the rubble. So at this point I just gave up. But nope, just going to head into town. And you can see, as you saw that artillery fire, there was it was like a tracer path. And you'll see that with the tank rounds as well. And when it hits, you'll see sparks. And it is absolutely amazing. Now, this is actually my first kill. And I ammo racked another Tiger 1. He wasn't paying attention until it was too late. And you'll hear noises as I run over stuff and glass breaking. There's clanging of metal. And it's just absolutely amazing. There's my second kill right there, by the way. The M7 thought it could scoot past me, and I'm like, nope, not happening. Now that guy in the Chaffee, now those things are like paper. So I'm surprised this guy lasted long as he did. I mean, the guy's a champ. Now there's a Tiger 131, which is basically a Tiger. It's just the premium version. And we exchanged shots, and he actually got me pretty good. I'm going to leave everything in game camera because I put it in free mode earlier and it was looking at it. You couldn't actually see what I was shooting at. So he sticks his nose out there again. He takes a shot at the Oni, and I got a couple rounds into him before he returned fire. He damaged my my sight, which I immediately used my repair kit on. And there's kill number 3. Now this SU has been dancing with the IKV and the Chaffee. I just rounded the corner, saw him sitting there, and I popped him. But I got a good shot into him earlier, so I didn't feel like I was kill stealing. Now the Skoda, he's pretty badly damaged, and then I run into a wall. And he wasn't even paying attention to me, so there's kill number 5. So at this point, there's just 3 TDs and the SPG left. And this, and I'm sorry, it wasn't an OI I was talking about earlier. It's or an Oni, it's an OI. So he just rounds the corner and looks like I have it. So at this point, all that's left now is the M12, and he's just getting slapped around from all sides. And I thought I might be able to get him through the building. There you saw the tracer rounds I was talking about, the tracer paths. Just absolutely gorgeous. The effects are so cool. The sparks, the sounds, everything. Very, very cool. And that's it. And that was victory for my team. It was a good match, and I love the graphic changes. All right, everyone. That was my first match in the World of Tanks version 1.0. And oh my God, it's sexy. It is so beautiful. They did such a fantastic job. I'm getting great frame rates. All the controls still work just fine. It looks really, really good. Now, I initially had some graphics texture load issues when I first spawned into the game, but that quickly went away. And then everything looked fantastic. So I imagine they're still working out some of the bugs. We'll see in the future here. Now, in this match, I killed a Tiger 1, a Tiger 131, a Skoda, that IKV, and an M7 that just happened to zip in front of me, and I caught him on the fly. So I got my Bruiser, I got my Fire for Effect, I got my Fighter, and of course I got my Demolition Expert because I ammo racked one of those guys. Now, did almost 1,700 points of damage. I got my Mastery Badge 2nd class. Believe it or not, I was not top damage. That honor went to a Hellcat that I was tooling around with. He was doing some sniping, doing a fantastic job, and one of our arties who was just on point with his where he was landing his ammo. But I still did top kills, so I'm pretty happy with that, and it was a fun match. I got a really nice chunk of change after my repairs and my auto resupply of ammunition. It was the Tiger 131 that actually did the most damage to me, but I paid him back, so great match. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did playing it. All right, everyone, you got to see my first match in the World of Tanks 1.0. As you saw, the map looks absolutely amazing. The level of detail is superlative. Now, one of the things I forgot to mention earlier, and I should have, now I said something about the improvements to the maps, and it's not just the graphical elements, the details. They made some physical changes to the maps as well. For instance, I was reading the developer notes, and they had opened up some of the areas in the between the buildings in the fjords map, so to make it easier for tanks to get through. They leveled areas, added vegetation, and they've literally done this with all the maps. Now, be aware that this may change some line of sight things for us, so you're going to be having to adjust your play a little bit. Now, I was just talking with one of my clanmates who is also my artillery guy. You've seen him in some of my episodes. He goes by the name of G Outcast in the World of Tanks, and he was telling me that there are now some areas and maps where he could hit with his artillery from his favorite vantage points that he now can't hit. So if you're an artillery player, be aware of that. So what we're actually planning to do this weekend is we're just going to load up basically our own little sort of team server and explore the maps, check it out, and then he's going to bring in his artillery so he knows where he can hit and where he can't hit ahead of time. So I would urge you to try to do the same thing. So anyway, that's it for the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to hit that like button, drop me a comment, and subscribe if you have not already done so. And I will see you at the next episode of Porterhouse Plays World of Tanks.